Hey babies, good morning. Okay, so it is Thursday, April 23rd. Okay, so we are at the day after the new moon now. And, this new moon was really about getting your insides to get much more closer to your own awareness in that what you're feeling needs to be brought to attention in all aspects of your life. So where you're holding back, or where you're just following suit, or where you're just accepting things that are less than, as if you're choosing them from the core of your most painful wounds, is where you are to be upgrading and awakening and seeing that there is more for you, that love is the answer, that love is out there, that inner work is worth it, that finding the ways to soften on yourself, to love on yourself, to value yourself. I should have had an and in there. And to value yourself and love on yourself and, put yourself first in being this valuable thing is what then changes what is next to manifest for you. So there can be things happening right now that you just never could dream them, and you're going to hear people talking about them, and it probably started with things that were connections and with the opening of the heart, and also too, one of the great things about when you have something like a pandemic, when you get the opportunity to have one of the great things is that what we value is going to change dramatically. Like, you can definitely imagine that people's desire for a big screen TV maybe isn't so much in their awareness as it was a few months ago. Things that were so like, oh, I need this external superficial thing to feel better inside, right? Like our last podcast. Those kind of things don't work. It doesn't make sense. And that's what I have been talking about for the past couple of weeks, about these things just won't make sense to us now. They come to a point in our bodies where we're just like, what? Chasing something like that? And in the same way, when you get older, you look at the behaviors that you had primarily around love, and you do think, I chased that. I did that. I took that in. I brought that on. I went for that. You get older and you're like, oh my gosh, I would never, ever, ever do that. And that's kind of what collectively is happening to people right now, where in regards to what is keeping them from actually loving on themselves and discovering this other kind of world that can be created from valuing yourself and seeing that you do have every right to have that, to get that, to manifest that, to work for that. We are waking to that in our lives right now, and therefore there will be a collective sprouting and a really big desire to go back to the basics in regards to what the Earth Walk is all about. So that's why people now are thinking about, growing your own food and getting seeds and starting to figure out how to do these things, and to really realize that we have allowed all these other things to take care of us, and therefore not even thinking about things. And we kind of need to take back that power where we are being in control of, but do I have this thing protected and secure for the future? But can I take care of myself in regards to any kind of what ifs that may happen? And that's an empowering way to be, when you really feel like, okay, I'm stocked up on that. I got that. I can take care of that. I've got this growing over here. I've got that canned over there. I've got that dehydrating as we speak, and kind of like taking more control. But, and seeing all the ways that we have been giving away our power. Oh yeah, I remember I had this excellent story to share, and I haven't shared it yet. And then I just had the idea to share it, but when I was saying all that stuff, and now I don't know if I can find it again, but it was something. So do expect yourself to kind of be laying out plans, thinking about what you want to do, and really being inspired to like go for it now. Oh yeah, that was something about like when we have times like this, we also take risks, and we take risks that kind of take us out of some fixated, stuck in the mud way that we were so like, no, this is how you do it. You stay in this and you just do it and you keep doing it. We're breaking out of anything that is not feeling really good in our bodies. Like, this is my thing to do, and even like with our creative gifts, as I say, they evolve and change as you get older. Just how like my first attempts into career land were in fashion design. And I've heard that from a lot of people. I mean, and this was way back in the day. Now it's very common, but it wasn't common back in the day. But I'd hear that from a lot of people that I really resonate with, who are off, out in the world now. It's like we were all getting fashion design degrees. We didn't know we were creative, so we were ahead of the times. We knew that. So what are we going to do? I don't know. Let's try this. But then when I got to be 28, I had realized that I was so turned off by everything superficial. Isn't that interesting? We're back to this again. But I was so turned off by, and listen to the reading from 2 days ago, but I was so turned off by everything superficial, and it came out of the blue. And I was actually working as a makeup artist in San Francisco when it happened, when I just transformed. I was so immersed in this superficial thing, even beyond fashion design, that it was makeup. And then I was like, I then like within like a day, I stopped wearing makeup and decided that I wanted to influence people from the inside and with something that lasts and lingers, and not just helping them to feel sexy and beautiful and confident right now because of how they look. And it was a really big change in my life where I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do that anymore. Came out of the blue. But just hit that boom, this point of like, nope, not interested in that. And now I'm suddenly interested in this other arena that I never even thought I would be doing. And that's kind of how then this career fell into place. And it fell into place, but I wouldn't have known. And I can feel how I'm nearing or whatever, but another different shift in my career, where whether it's I'm giving different information or whatever, but we never know what they're going to be. So who knows how it's going to go, but we can still tell when we're getting towards these cycles or these different changes of like, okay, I've learned that, I've walked that, I've done all I can do, and now it's, time to go to the next. But so allow that kind of thing to be a part of your story, because we are coming out of something that wasn't necessarily working and wasn't necessarily producing what we want, to the point that we did start to think scarcity, and we did start to think there's not enough for us, and we did start to think we don't have a place out in the world. But those are the kind of things where we really learn what we want to next do to kind of sustain us. And like cycles, we don't really know what we're going to produce at the end of it until we really go in it and first start feeling it. Even if you think about the moon cycles, and there's 4 phases that are distinctively different, although 2 are moderately similar and the other 2 are also moderately similar, but they're still all unique, and they all have a different way that you are to approach them. In the same way, like if you work at a cafe or a restaurant and they have like 3 different rinsing tubs, it's like you do this, you do that, it does this, that, ding. And our phases are the same way. And, just like us, we have to accept that when we do go into a new dish thing. It's a different kind of component, and it might feel different. Things might produce differently in our lives because of it, So, but now it's really about paying attention to what we really want and what we really would like to draw out new plans to kind of create a better way to feel held. Kind of too coming like in a circular motion where you're coming around to a point again, but where this time you're like, whoa, I learned so much from the last cycle. Then now, just like what I was talking about 2 days ago in the podcast, but from this house that I live in now, that was superficially gorgeous, but nothing held it up to what it superficially was. I've learned so much more about what I need for my next cycle, for my next house. But what's interesting is one of the things is that I have so thought that I needed bigger houses and a big house and big house. I want space to grow into. I want big. I want places to move. I want my body to move. And what I really realized from this experience is that that's kind of like the worst thing for me, or at least right now. I need to be held. I need to be contained. I need all my things like right here and like within reach. I need close. I need small. I need little bitty bitty. I don't need big, big, big and everything's all around and I'm just going in circles trying to find what I need, because that's how it's kind of been. But I wouldn't have known that I needed small because I've not thought that until recently. And it feels so good to think about a little tiny house. But I wouldn't have said that. So, but now I'm, totally saying that. So be aware of that and expect that, and kind of just step into whatever plan is unfolding for you now, because it's about going towards the love and not really questioning, how you thought it would look, how you thought you would need it to be, just kind of really being open to, as you grow and blossom and love more on yourself, you're just going to have higher expectations for what holds and surrounds you. You're going to have higher expectations for wanting to have people and things that really support what you want to do, and, support the dreams or the endeavors or the things that you're laying out as plans right now. It's really important that you don't have people who go against what you want. Here I had this example where I was going to be working with this woman, and there were a couple of examples where like this thing where I needed her to be this one way with this stuff, her response was something that was like, it was very like non-supportive, and it could have been seen as like whatever, no really big deal. But for me, I need this supportive thing. I need this thing that's not going to ever have me then like feeling awkward and having to explain myself. I'm not going to pull an energy in that's then going to have me going, oh gosh, I feel uncomfortable now. Like that's not my person. But we had to walk that to get it. And we wouldn't have known it until we actually kind of got in there and saw, the mechanisms of how we innately run are in conflict. On a superficial level, we've known each other for a while and we get along great and we talk and it's this and that. But when we try to take something into our inner workings, we're coming together. It was very evident that it was like, oh, wait, this is not going to work for me. This is not going to be something that supports me valuing who I am and using my voice to say, I need it like this. So expect to have things like that in your life where you do have to draw boundaries or declare something from valuing yourself and expecting things to be better. It's kind of written in the energy. And to go up to these higher levels, you really do have to see that you deserve to be in these better spaces. And at this point in history, it's really about learning from what we've seen that hasn't held us, that hasn't supported us, that hasn't been what we've needed. And now kind of opening to this new thing of, wow, you can choose for yourself and you can expect to have something that really is a great fit. And if things aren't a great fit, you're going to be learning that, and the process will be unfolding to let go of that and to make space for the better. Okay, but we got to go. It's that time. But I love you. I had fun. I'll see you in a couple days. See you Saturday. Okay. Bye.